wonderful, great common sense. But just in case the lightning comes back and we do lose the internet, we lose the internet. just so a little heads up there. So we're going to transition to our formal class today. But is there any birthdays to honor today or near today for our yoga practice? All right. Then we shall transition into our formal class. Donnie will mute you and we will begin. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome this morning. Thank each of you for joining together on your mat today. Today's yoga practice is Month in Review, April 2025. And during this month of April, we have practiced yoga with the theme of springtime, a season to witness change. In our 3 weeks of practice this month, we have focused on springtime energy increase, springtime anticipation. I heard that in the opening comments already. And how springtime can test our patience. So today we will review all 3 of these focal points throughout our class today. So your yoga invitation is to feel spring's energy. Recognize your anticipation and be patient with yourself and with nature. Namaste. Please do gift yourself these few moments just to fully arrive. Gift yourself this time. So from your seated pose, however that serves your body this morning, begin to feel your connection through your foundation. And then maybe you lift through the crown of your head. Notice the very presence of your breathing. That ebb and flow, rising and falling with each breath. Centering stillness. Yoga begins by stopping the agenda that's outside of your mat and gift yourself this precious time to connect body, breath, spirit. Receive one more deep and full, energizing breath. And with our next breath, we'll begin to warm our body for our practice. The receiving breath, just let both arms reach out and lift to the wingspan. And then turning of the palms up, reaching of the arms up, reaching through those fingertips and stretching through your side bodies. And we'll open into a seated twist as the right arm returns through the wingspan. Left hand comes over to the right thigh. Right arm continues around. Maybe you just stay with this practice here and feel the extension of the arm, the lifting of your spine. Maybe you put your fingertips down on a block or on the mat or on the floor, and you turn a little deeper into your twist, just to begin recognizing the movements of your body, the connection. One more nice deep breath. Here we go. And then we're going to bring that right arm up. If it did come down, turn the torso back into the center. Slowly cross that right arm across your body to touch the left leg. Open up that left arm out to the side. Slowly turn into the twist that serves you today. One more nice deepened breath wherever you chose. And we'll all come back to center. Slowly coming back through the center. Both arms open out wide to the wingspan. Again, right palm comes down or just fingertips. Left arm keeps reaching. We're going to do a nice little side body stretch. So we let the right arm slide away. We let the left arm reach over. See if you can reach over the left ear. Keeping alignment. And let's see if we can turn our head. And just notice where that brings the inner sensations of energy. One more nice deep breath here. And we'll all come back into that nice center. As the left arm comes down, the right arm rises up. We reach up through the fingertips. We slide the left arm away from our body. We gaze over towards the right elbow. And we flow into the side body stretch. If you notice your sit bones are lifting, particularly the right one, ground it back down. And then extend that right fingertips away. Receive the breath. Come back into that center. Both arms reaching out wide. And bringing of the palms down towards the knee area. Seated spinal wave. Releasing breath. Tuck the head. Bow the chin. Rise the shoulders. Round your back body. Receive a breath. Let the palms pull into the knees or the thighs and feel the heart center lifting, gazing up, releasing those shoulders down. Nice. Let's do a couple more. As we continue in our warming segment today, we're going to review nature's increased energy. And notice if that helps you to increase your energy. More daylight hours, a little warmer. One more breath. Spinal wave. And everybody back into our center. Relax the shoulders. Receive a breath. And then begin to transition to the tabletop. Hands and knees. We bring body to alignment in every little movement so we can connect with breath and move into the practice here. So from our tabletop here, We're going to begin just one spinal wave, your yogi's favorite, whichever way it is. Tuck the tailbone, round the back body, bow the head down, and then turn it around. Tailbone rising, shoulders releasing, crown of the head lifting ever so lightly. Back into the neutral position. Let's begin with a spinal balance now. Here comes some warmth and energy. The left leg reaches back. The right arm reaches forward. Reach through the heel and the fingertips. Please gaze down so the neck stays lengthened. Notice if your breath is beginning to increase. Your body is beginning to move a little deeper. And let's hug it in. Releasing breath. Bend the elbow, bend the knee, hug that energy back in, bow the head down deeper, receive, reach it out. So expand, releasing breath, contract. One more. And then we're all going to return back together into our tabletop. Thread the needle. Just pick up the right palm. Thread the right arm behind the left arm. Let those right fingers keep traveling over to the left side. Allow the right shoulder to relax down onto the mat. The right side of the face, relax down to the mat. As your practice is unique to your body today, you can extend that left arm forward. You can bring it around and bend the elbow, bring the palm up on your back body. Maybe you got another place for it, but take one more nice, deep and full breath here. We're just focusing on our increased energy with springtime, and come back, tabletop. Press the left palm down. Slide the right arm through. Let's reach the right arm out to the right side and just let it circle up. Gaze up. Now you're going to feel a little more twisting through the outer hip area. So engage there, focus on the energy there, and release back down. Tabletop, receiving the next breath. Here goes the left arm out and the right leg back. Bend the elbow, bend the knee, release the breath. Hug it all in. Ooh, hug it in. Receive, reach out, release, hug it in. One more time, please. Is the breath really increasing? Is it noticeable? We notice it in nature right now. And then we slowly bring that right knee down and thread the needle. Bring that left arm behind the right arm. Now we relax the left shoulder, the left side of the face. We reach those left fingers over to the right side. We notice where the energy of the breath body is most prevalent as we find our body in this shape. Let's receive one more breath here. And together, we'll come back to the center. Press the right palm under the right shoulder. Rethread the left arm back through. Reach it, reach it, reach it over to the left and let it circle all the way up. Just circle it up high to the sky. And bring that left arm all the way back down. Couple of spinal waves will extend the legs. So left leg extends out to the left side. Plant that foot down, get a good foundation, and downward wave. Tailbone tucking, head bowing, receiving breath. Upward wave. We'll do just a couple more. Just flow with this, and as we increase our energy particularly in the easy to do in the springtime, realize that you can direct this energy. Where would you like to move your body with this? And then we'll slowly, yogi's choice, bring that left leg back to your tabletop. Receive the next breath. Pick up the right knee, release the breath, reach the right leg way, 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 way out to the right side and spinal wave. Flowing, breathing. Maybe you're beginning to notice that there's some warming, some more open spaces in your body already. Come back into your neutral. Bring your body back into tabletop, yogi's choice. Receive the next breath. Please tuck your toes under. We're going to wide downward dog. Hips reach back. And then you slowly start to hover the knees. And then you take one foot over to the long edge of your mat. Opposite foot over to the long edge of your mat. And you continue into wide downward facing dog. Now you'll probably notice that there are different internal body sensations and maybe even breath movement. Wide downward dog to the hip width apart feet downward dog, the regular. Just notice that and what energy does that give you. One more nice deepened breath. We're going to transition to wide plank. So if you need to step the feet back a step or two, you do that. And then you gaze forward. You shift the body, shoulders stacked above the wrist, and you lower the hips. Engage those shoulders. Tuck the tailbone. Engage the core. And everybody, next releasing breath, slowly start to bring the hip bones down. Go into a wide cobra or just stay in the up dog. And then return wide downward facing dog. So you might have to readjust your alignment. So you do that if that's needed. Now let's flow with that. So we're going to do breath and movement. Here we go. Receiving breath. Downward facing, wide downward facing dog. Releasing breath. Begin to transition to wide plank. Receive a breath. Feel the energy. Release the breath. Either go into a wide cobra, lower the hip bones down, or stay with up dog. Don't lower the hip bones down. And receive the breath. Rise the hips up. Reach back. Wide downward facing dog. Excellent. Let's do one more nice deepened breath together. And then very gently soften both knees. Step back the feet to hip width apart. And gaze forward to walk the toes towards the back of your hands. Ragdoll, forward fold. Soften the knees. Hold the opposite elbows. Release the head. Just flow with free energy here. You just gave your body some strength and a little bit of challenge perhaps in our last little segment there. So just let it flow now. And that too is energy. Water just goes around anything that comes within its path. It doesn't stop and get stagnant. It just keeps flowing. Oh, one more releasing breath. Ragdoll, forward fold, and then we're going to rise to the upward salute. So we release the hands from the elbows. We open the arms out. Release those shoulder blades down and then widen the fingers. All these details is just little things of energy. And rise up. Lift up. Gaze up. Arms reach up. Yeah. Upward salute. The grounding foundation through the soles of your feet. The lifting through the fingertips as the heart shines outwards. And then very, very gently, just interlace the fingers here. Make your steeple mudra. Release the breath and draw the thumbs down to your heart center. please lift your heart into the thumbs. Pause there for a breath. And then transition to the long edge of your mat. Toes facing the long edge of your mat. You're going to do a nice little standing side body stretch now. As you receive the next breath, move. Lift up through the steeple. Release the breath. Interlace all the fingers. Spin the palms up. Lift up again. And then when you release your next breath, just let the right foot step out a little bit further. Soften the left knee. Pick up the left foot and cross it over the right foot. So the thighs are hugging together and they're a little wider apart than hip width. Release the breath and release over to the right side. So if you're just on the outer edge of your left foot, see if you can plant the whole sole down. If you're gazing forward, just notice if you could turn your head and gaze up towards the left elbow. One more breath. Increased energy. Here we go. We're all going to come back into the center. Micro bend both knees. Plant the right foot down. Pick the left foot up. Plant the left foot down. Receive a breath. Regain this inner alignment and release the breath. Slowly begin to micro bend the right knee. Pick up the right foot. Cross the right leg in front of the left leg. Hug those thighs together. Take a little wider step than hip width. Realign, receiving breath, and release the breath. Reach over, over to the left side. So we also review our how to be patient with your body, your breath, and the movements of your mind in yoga. Just as nature is patient, we too practice patience. Receive, come back to center. Please micro bend both knees gently. Plant the left foot down, tuck the tailbone, get solid. Pick up the right foot, plant the right foot down. Bring the palms down, open the arms out. Sun Goddess. So you separate both legs wide. You might turn the toes out, the heels in. You start bending the knees with strength, tucking the tailbone, hugging the core muscles, elbows bending, and then they draw back as the fingers spread a little bit wider. Now this is a great one to feel your inner energy. One more breath. Nicely done. Softly begin to let the legs stretch out. Open the arms out to the wingspan. We're going to transition to a high lunge. So the left toes are going to turn to the top or the back edge of your mat, whichever way it is for you. The back foot, pivot on the ball of the right foot, circle the right arm down. Here you go. Reach the arms forward. That's where we're going. Reach them, and now let your hips hinge you. Keep reaching as the hips hinge. Reach and hinge. Breathe and move. Reach and hinge. One more nice deepened breath there. And then we're going to slowly go into a prayer twist. So from here, softly let that left knee bend just a little deeper as the fingertips come down. You can keep that back knee lifted. You can bring that back knee down, but you open the arms out to the wingspan. You lift the torso. Let the palms touch together at the heart center. Release the breath. Again, hip hinge forward. That's why we did the first one. Get those hips ready for a deeper twist. Then bring your right elbow either to the inner, on top, or outer edge of your left thigh. And then gaze at the left elbow. You know, sometimes our focal point changes our energy level. Maybe just seeing something new as we move into the practice. We can feel this little anticipation. Oh, I gotta refocus. Notice that. And when you release this next breath, slowly come back to center. Fingertips frame your left foot. You receive the breath. If your back knee is down, tuck the toes and lift that back knee up, 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 and rise to your high crescent lunge. Arms can go back to airplane. They can reach out to wingspan. They can circle forward and lift up. Yogi's choice, high crescent lunge. Release the breath. Just bend the back right knee and just let it come down a little bit closer to the mat. Receive. Stretch it back out. Readjust, realign, breathe. One more. Release. Back knee bends. It comes down just a little bit. And then we all return together. High crescent lunge. Receive this deepened breath. And then we're going to go right into the humble lunge. So the arms open through the wingspan. They circle behind. Serve your body, however that is. Ragdoll, reverse ragdoll arms. One hand on opposite wrist, fingers interlaced. Release your breath. Hip hinge. So now the chest is traveling towards the top of your left thigh. The head releases. If the fingers are interlaced, notice if your energy will invite you to reach the knuckles away from your back body and then arms to rise a little bit. Just options. Otherwise, you just let them rest on your back body. When you receive the next breath, we're going to slowly transition back to high crescent. So the arms release down. Do a little different movement than you did the first time for lifting up into your high crescent. And then open up to your warrior two. Right heel spins down. Arms reach out. Front knee bent perfectly. 90 degrees. And you are home. Notice breath. Notice body. And we'll do a little flowing here so we receive the next breath. We stretch out the left leg. We turn our torso to face the long edge of the mat. We turn the palms up and arms up. And when we release the breath, we reopen and revisit warrior two. Let's breathe a little deeper. Flow with these two movements. But always, 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 notice if there's anticipation to go a little deeper today, and if it's not available, or be patient with where your body and breath are connecting today. Let's everybody come back into the warrior two together and just pause for a moment. And then we're going to visit half moon. So if you need a block or a little chair, some prop for those left fingers right now to be resting on in front of your left foot, just make adjustments, get back into alignment. Let's everybody bring the right hand to the right hip. Gaze over your left toes, reach out the left arm, pick up the right heel and step it in just a little bit. So the back right foot stays either 90 or 60 degrees, so the hips stay open to the long edge and the shoulders stay open to the long edge. Get it best you can. And then very gently, when you reach out that left arm, it's going to touch your prop or the mat or the floor, and you're going to step that right leg in. Muscular energize that left leg. Muscular energize it. Shift the body just a little bit forward until you can feel that the release of the right leg can be lifted away from your mat. The right shoulder, of course, is always rolling back so it stays open. If the foot comes up and down, it comes up and down. There's no right wrong with yoga. It's just exploring, growing, creating, experimenting, feeling your energy. And when you release that very next breath, we're going to release our half moon. So you slowly begin to bring that right leg down. If it's still up, easy does it. And then you begin to rise your body back up to center. So the body lifts, arms reach out. We're going to return to Sun Goddess. So turn the toes out, heels in. Reach the arms out. Let them come up just a little bit higher than wingspan. And then transition to your Sun Goddess. Arrive here. Let's just wiggle the toes just for another little energy sensation of just tickle. When you receive this next breath, reopen the arms to the wingspan. We're going to transition to this lunge pose, right toes to the short edge of our mat. So begin to transition. You might just pivot on the right heel, circle the left arm down. Feel the hips close as the back leg pivots to create the lunge alignment for the feet. Toes are facing the short edge of the mat together. And then reach the arms out to your wingspan. Get the back leg really strong, muscular energized. Release the breath. Hip hinge and reach the arms forward together. Just keep reaching, please. One more nice deepened breath here. And then slowly place the fingertips down. We're going to go into that prayer twist. So you might keep the back leg lifted. You might bring the back knee down. Begin to reach the arms out, this time to the wingspan. And then raise the torso away from the thigh. Now we slowly bring the palms together at the heart center. We receive a breath and arrive here. Nature arrives with every little detail. Give yourself that gift. Releasing breath, hip hinge. Now the left elbow starts to travel towards the inner, on top, or outer edge of your right thigh. And you begin to turn into the twist. You notice where you're a little bit wobbly or shaky. There's some energy that needs some stabilizing. So you engage the muscular energy. You notice where you might feel some resistance. There's some blocking energy. So you release that with breath. And then you notice where your body moves you. How about one more breath in your prayer twist? And then everybody will come back to our center. We slowly come back into the center. Easy does it. Gently, if the back knee is down. Let's see if we can just tuck the toes this time. And lift that back knee up and rise to your high crescent lunge. Right knee stays bent, 90 degrees. Fingertips reach high, hips sink low. Notice when the energy of that back leg really ignites to support you, to reach up a little bit further. And then very gently, humble high lunge, arms open through wingspan. Maybe you just go to airplane arms this time and you hip hinge forward. Maybe you do the reverse ragdoll arms or knuckles interlacing. One more breath here, humble lunge, let the head bow. It's humble. And then rise back up into your high crescent lunge. Rise back up. Here comes some nice deep energy. Release the breath, bend the back knee. Just let it travel down towards the mat. Receive your breath. Lift that back knee up again. Stay present. One more. When you release, the back knee softens and travels down. When you receive, it gets stronger. The right leg really supports that lifting action. Oh, warrior two calls us next. Circle the left arm forward. Spin the left heel down. Open the hips wide. Open the shoulders wide. Palms down. Arrive. Warrior two. Your body knows this well. Your breath knows where to move to maintain this energy. Be patient with that, and it will flow. So with our next breath, begin movement again. Receive the breath. Start to stretch out the right leg. Turn the torso to the long edge of your mat. Turn the palms up. Reach the arms up. Gaze up. Release the breath. Return, warrior two. One or two more. Flowing with your energy. How about one more, wherever you are. Arrive in your warrior two. Tailbone is tucking, shoulders are releasing, fingertips are reaching. And then very, very gently going to set up for half moon on this side. So you bring your left hand to your left hip. You softly begin to reach out the right arm. Pivot on the left foot. Take a little step in. Get your props ready. The right knee stays a little bit softened until that right arm has found a place of stability to just support your body. Roll the left shoulder back this time. Rock the body back and forth to feel that little movement of energy. And when it feels just right, shift forward with the body and just play with that back leg lifting up. We can come up, we can come down, we can go back, we can go forth. Just notice this. Half moon is a great pose to help us cultivate and test our patience. It's slow, intentional breathing. And this transitioning into this balance with strength and flexibility all uniting together. It does give us some insight how we might respond to challenges on the mat and off the mat. Yeah. Receive this next breath. And when you begin to release that breath, we're going to step out of half moon and return back to high, wide straddle. So slowly begin to lift the body up. Arms reach up, eyes gaze up. Then we pivot onto the heels or balls of our feet so that they're parallel with each other. Keep the feet wide, and then open the arms out. And let the hips hinge you forward. Just the hips, so your spine stays very lengthened. Don't let the head really get heavy and fall free until you're in the full expression of your wide straddle forward fold today. So maybe now the hands just slide down the outer edges of your legs. Maybe they come down to the mat or the block in between your feet. You might soften the knees, and then with a breath, you might stretch out the legs a little bit and soften. Flow with that. One more breath. And then let's half lift together. So wherever you are, very gently begin to half lift. And if you've got your block, fingertips on the block, fingertips on the mat, maybe you put the shins, palms onto the shins and half lift. When we release the next breath, we soften both knees. Bring the palms down if they're not already there and begin to transition to tabletop. So you're going to spin on the balls of your feet, walk the hands to the short edge of your mat, bringing your back knee down, and then slide the front leg back to join, and receive a nice deepened breath here. When you release the breath, begin to go to downward wave and reach the hips back towards child. We're going to flow. Receive the breath. Come back into the tabletop. And the next receiving breath, upward wave. Releasing breath, downward wave as the hips reach back towards the heels. Soften the forearms, soften the forehead. Receive. Back into the tabletop, upward wave. Release. One more little flow there, please. Yeah. When your body is back into the tabletop position, release the next breath, and we're going to come to the seated pose. So maybe today you cross the legs behind you. Maybe you start to come to the outer edge of one hip. Again, whatever serves your body. Staying connected. And you're back into your seated pose. As we began, we will begin finishing well here together. Arrive in your easy seated pose. And we'll place the palms towards the knee area, 2 rounds of your spinal waves. The releasing breath lets you reach your back body away from you as you rise the shoulders and bow the head. Your receiving breath, you use your palms onto the knees or thigh area, and you feel that energy reaching your heart center forward as you gaze up. One more on your own, please. Yeah. When that is completed for you and you're back to center, let's bring the right hand to the left shoulder, the left hand to the right shoulder. We'll just do a couple of very gentle little neck and head rolls, releasing our shoulders and neck area. When you release the breath, start to let the right ear travel towards the top of your right shoulder. You might turn the head lightly to the left. You might keep it in center. The benefit of hugging yourself in this practice is you're going to know when you lift your shoulders to try to get the ear closer to the shoulder. So release it down. Relax it down. Just allow the very weight of your head to relax the neck, the shoulders. Be patient. Nature's our beautiful example of patience. But also begin to notice if you're anticipating, are we going to do the other side next? Are we going to go forward? What are we going to do? Anticipation. Thank you, Melanie. Next receiving breath. Slowly come back to the center. Do it slow. Just do it slow. Feel. You might even hear some little crackings or some little noises as you come back up to the slow center. Release the breath. Now the left ear comes towards the left shoulder. Fingertips or palms still on the shoulders to help release, relax, and to check in that they really are relaxing. Not just the thought energy process, but the actual physical energy release. Let's do one more, please. Deepen into this breath. And we'll come back slowly Slowly, slowly, all the way back into that center. To notice that center. And we'll just create a couple of the infinity or the stretched out figure 8 symbol just to release the head. So your chin is like the paintbrush or the pencil. And you start to lift the chin to one side and then it circles down to the other. You lift the chin up on that side and it circles down to the opposite. Now, if you're noticing that it just doesn't quite flow with keeping your hands on your shoulders here and you need a little support through the lower body to keep the movement flowing, then release the hands and just hold on to the thighs or knees. Just feel that gentle, easy, free-flowing energy. Complete your next nice little infinity neck roll. And you come back to the center. Pause in that stillness. Next receiving breath. Let's do a couple of stirring the spines now to release the lower back and hip area. So you begin to allow the torso to create circles. Now that we've given some emphasis, some focus on releasing the neck and shoulders, maybe you find it's a little freer to release that energy as you circle forward in the stirring of your spine today. Maybe you're noticing something else. Springtime, a season to witness change. Back into the center for one breath in stillness. And release the breath. Create a circle in the opposite direction. Circling around. Again, there's this free-flowing energy. Many times in my own personal life and practice, I notice that I don't honor the free-flowing energy. I'm always anticipating what's next, kind of striving towards that next movement, that next project, that next event, to honor the energy and what's happening right here, right now. We know that's the very core of our yoga practice. As you finish this stirring of the spine back into your center, that one nourishing breath. And next breath, we'll begin to transition to the supine pose. Yogi's choice. So you begin to gently allow your body to move into the length of your mat so that you can roll your spine down, either with the straightened legs and a little more core energy, or bent knees and a little softer energy. When you know that your back body is resting completely onto the mat, let's bend our knees if they're not already there. Hip width apart, feet hip width apart. Arms are just going to be resting by your sides. We're going to move into a very gentle supine twist today. We begin with breath and open the arms out to that nice big wingspan. As you bend the elbows here, Slowly interlace the fingers behind the head and then tuck your chin lightly and lift the back of your head away from the mat to place your palms behind the back of your head. Reopen those elbows wide. It's natural to close them when you do that. And then lower the back of the head back down and soften those shoulders. Receive the next breath. Just feel this presence and release the breath. We're going to step the feet in just a little bit closer to our sit bones today. So just bring the heels of your feet just a little bit closer to the sit bones and then see if you can slide them in towards each other or even touch the inner edges of the feet together. This is your beginning, starting place of alignment for this simple twist, so enjoy. Receive the next breath. Release the breath. Both knees just release over to the right. When you receive, please bring them back up to center. We'll just prepare our body for a deeper twist. When you release the next breath, the knees release over to the right. And the receiving breath, they come back to center. One more of these gentle flows, noticing, becoming aware. And then when you're back to center from that one, you're going to receive even a deeper breath. And release that breath out long and slow and patient as both knees continue to release over to the right. We flow and breathe, breathe and flow, whatever rhythm that serves your body, your breath, right here, right now. Just allow the weight of your legs to gently bring your body into this supine twist. Springtime energy, and how we're witnessing these energies on our mat and with nature. So can you release the energy and feel the openness, the new space for growth, the new space for next breath? When you release the next breath, let it really release out fully. Even a little bit of inner energy to release that last breath as you hug the core muscles in. Receive the breath. Begin to lift the knees back up to the center. When they're back to center, just notice your alignment, notice the connections. And when you release the breath, opposite side, please. Knees release to the left, just the releasing breath's worth, and then receive. Bring them back up into your center. Releasing of the next breath, both knees release to the left. Receiving breath, they come back to the center. Prepare your body. One more. The releasing breath. Knees release. The receiving breath. You feel that energy turn around from releasing to a little bit of strengthening and structure as they come back to center. Now we let the practice continue flowing. Deep receiving breath. Begin releasing that breath long and slow as the knees begin releasing over to the left side. Yogi's choice for rhythm of breath and movement, movement and breath. How has your yoga helped you become more aware of your energies, your sense of anticipation, and your patience. Find the fullest expression and receive one more deepened breath. Emphasize the breath. And when you are ready to receive that next energizing breath, you begin to use that little bit of strength and structure. Lift the knees away from the left side, coming back to that perfect center. Spine completely on the mat. Soles of the feet pressing down. Here we go. Next receiving breath. Slowly reach the elbows out again. They probably got a little bit lazy. Release the breath. Tuck the chin ever so lightly so you can pick up the back of your head, and then slide the fingers away from the back of your head. Open the arms out as you place the head back down. Bring the arms down by your sides and give yourself this delicious hug. Hug both thighs into your chest. And as I know some of the yogis in today's practice enjoy, bringing your knees a little closer to the armpits. So you might explore into that energy. What does that feel like if I've never tried it before? Just this gentle hug, releasing energy. And then we will roll from hip bone to hip bone. So you massage. Just that word, massage, kind of releases some inner pent-up energy. It just allows you to begin relaxing. And then you notice the sensations of your own body massaging through the lower back, hip area, across the sacrum. Come back to the center, please, with a pause. And then elevate both legs together. Use support if that serves you best. The wall, the hands, the arms, even a strap behind the knees, or however it's going to serve you. Just keep the legs elevated, arms down by the sides, or palms on the abdominal area. One more deepened breath here. Next breath, slowly begin to move into the Shavasana of your choice today. Shavasana. This month of April has been a reflection of witnessing changes in your energies, changes in your sense of anticipation, and changes in your patience. We have reviewed the month from its beginning to its end, and we have shaped our practice to reflect our changes. Now, allow Shavasana to bring you closer and closer to the changes we have highlighted throughout this month. Gently draw your awareness to that place between your eyebrows, expanding that awareness into your space, and the wiggling of your fingers, toes, movement of wrists and ankles. Invite your next breath to awaken you as you give your body an awakening stretch. Oh, and from this awakening stretch, our knees bend, we turn all the way onto our right side and begin to rise into a seated pose. In our seated poses with Anjali Mudra, receive a deepened breath. As we release this breath, gently bow forward. Thank yourself for taking this time to reconnect and know everything you did was enough. And we'll rise together. Closing together today. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you for joining on your mat with your community of yoginis. Please do unmute yourself and say goodbye.